Yeah, welcome to our first design talk over. We're going to be talking about logos. And before we get to our presentation and talking about trends and stuff, we're going to do a little icebreaker. So if you haven't noticed, icebreaker. So if you haven't noticed, there are some logos that are up on the wall. Basically, like we want to try and if you just look at them and see which ones that you like, which ones you don't like, and then go to the one that attracts you the most, and you can get.
You guys might
Who
have
do you
to
think is
get
most successful in representing the brand?
The top one is the older one, and then the larger one.
So let's start out with this side. Let's start with iOS 7 as opposed to its previous version, iOS 6. We'll start with that.
You guys are friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we all have, I had the iOS 7 installed on my phone, and it was really good, so.
What do you like about it, design-wise?
I guess when you scrolled up, the brightness, that was really helpful. I guess when I was, in or out of the building, I was able to do it faster than, going to settings and then brightness and stuff.
Okay, and as far as the actual brand of iOS 7 goes, if you look, for example, at the logo, you noticed, and throughout the application, they went a lot thinner on their text, on their fonts. They also changed colors. They switched from really gradual gradients to more radical, pink to dark blue gradients. I mean, any of that, do you have any opinion on kind of?
You had iOS 7?
Yeah, I did.
You can get that now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't even know
It's
about
not
that.
legal.
Oh,
Well, you can get the beta version.
You
Ron,
I
you
had-
gotta
I had,
regulate.
like,
Ron works for Apple. He's about to arrest you. I
I had the beta trial.
Yeah.
I had
Hi
the
guys.
beta,
For those who
Yeah,
just
I'm
joined,
listening.
you can there's some logos across the room. Just probably take a quick look and just stand next to the ones that you like the most, or one that you like the most. Okay,
Okay, so let's keep going with this group. So,
It's simple. It's to the point, you know what it is, and it's just simple.
okay.
7.
Any other opinions here?
I was a big fan of the skeuomorphism in iOS 6, but I have iOS 7 on my phone too.
So a big trend, guys, and he mentioned it right now, skeuomorphism is something that flat designers are trying to head away from, and that's very reflective of the new iOS 7 as opposed to iOS 6. Skeuomorphism is when you have, for example, an icon that is meant to look very much like what it's supposed to represent. So an icon might be glassy, so it might have that glassy look. It might have edges to make it look like it sticks out, contours, embosses, that kind of thing. So iOS 7 has gone towards a more flat design. You don't see those little rounded edges as much. You don't see the glassiness as much. You don't see the textures. So that's a good point. That's a design trend that we'll be talking about. It relates very much to flat design. So awesome. That's a good point right there.
What was that one? Skeuomorphism?
Skeuomorphism.
Okay, so it's form follows function.
Yeah.
Kind of
For
thing.
developers, that's a big thing going on right now. So you might want to go and research it later on, and we might look at that later on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so American Airlines. I call it 3D glasses logo.
Okay.
Yeah, 3D glasses. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I like it is because it's more simplistic. There's less letters going on in here, but then it still keeps the theme of the red, white, and blue. And then you can see how they still incorporated the eagle in it. So.
Do you think without the letters it still reads as American Eagle or American Airlines? Sorry.
It does to me. I don't know.
What about the rest of you?
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of has this 3D effect with the gradients. Plus, at the same time, it represents an actual airplane tail wing, which really kind of goes with the actual company and what they stand for. So I feel like it's really important just to emphasize that in this logo.
Anyone else?
I would say without previous knowledge of the logo, I probably wouldn't read it as an eagle. I mean, it reads because you know that's what it's going to be, but it's, I think it's effective, but I think without the previous knowledge, you wouldn't know.
So do they have enough of a brand already established that we can see that without the two A's?
I would say so.
Fair opinion.
There's been a lot of gradient logos in the past year, so it's that's another trend that's going on as well. So we got the Loon versus then next to Pepsi.
Oh.
Why Pepsi, man? Everybody's looking towards you.
Yeah. What?
I chose Pepsi because this is a established brand that you don't need the Pepsi. You really don't need the Pepsi sign. And no, it's been here for years, and people associate these colors with this round letter or with the round border around it as Pepsi. And it has like, when you look into going into color wise, you have the red, white, and blue. It's American company.
Yeah.
You know, it could be French or whatever color, whatever. But most people in America know this is an American company. So just without the words, I would know it's Pepsi.
So you feel it's very easy to identify.
Yeah, it's very easy to identify. Get straight to the point.
Even
Colors, Pepsi, bomb.
Yeah.
boom. Even if it were black and white, do you think that?
In black and white now.
Pirate?
That
That's a little different.
yeah, that'd be a little different. We got color on the wall.
Alright, so color means a lot.
I might have somewhere else.
Is there? Okay, let me. Oh.
Has anybody seen, like, somebody took this and made a cartoon out of it?
Yeah, the big
and
fat dude.
It's a guy, and basically all they did was, like,
Put a
little
belly button.
legs and a head, and then, like, a little circle in the white part, so it looks like his belly button, and he's, like,
Yeah.
this
Oh my
really,
gosh,
really
I see
fat
it.
Yeah.
I see that every time I look
And
at
the
it.
red part
That's
is his
the
shirt.
And there's also like the pirate eye, just because like it's bigger on one side than the
Probably
other.
something they should have
Sorry.
considered when they first came up with the design.
Don't make it look like
Once
a
you
fat
see
guy.
it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Okay. Is there no love for Microsoft?
No one's
Like,
got
what do you like
Microsoft.
We got Apple fans here.
Okay.
Well, a couple opinions as to why nobody chose Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Why didn't you guys like it? Why did you steer away from it? Anybody? Why didn't you like
guys
Microsoft?
not choose Microsoft?
You guys don't like the 4 squares?
I liked it. I just couldn't like stretch. I like that. I like the simplicity of it. Like Microsoft, you know, Windows had the Windows early in the '90s, and that's just like an upgrade from it. So
I just like
can't stretch.
They're trying to go with color now and be like less professional looking. Like you can see their other old logo. It's just like straight
Less
text.
nerdy.
Yeah, and they're trying to like follow up Apple's kind of
Even
off the wall kind of stuff.
Even before that logo, there was like one in between that it was the 4 squares, but it was gradient and it was like curvy. You could tell that they're moving in more of a flat design approach, following the trends there.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to,
They're doing just that. They're following trends. They're
With
not
what?
really
With the
making-
logo
Well,
or
just 'cause-
overall?
I'm not saying this because I like Apple better, but you know, Apple's like they have the Apple, they put it on their store. It's, you know, really clean inside with the wood and everything, and then you see the Microsoft store, and now they just have the 4 windows, the wood tables. It's the same fucking thing.
Talking about in Florida Mall, they're like right next
That's
to each
what I'm
other, and it looks
talking about.
exactly the same.
Yeah, I think they're trying
Yeah.
real hard to look like a simple to use computer when it's not.
I agree, but which store would be more fun to go in?
You don't like going in either of them. Order online and never look at how it's
We got this big corner Coca-Cola people over there.
Who's Coke?
Is
people?
everybody
Raise
here
your hand.
Coca-Cola?
Raise your hand if you're Coke people.
That's.
Alright.
Is it because you like Coke over Pepsi, or is it because you like the
Who likes Coke?
Honestly, I hate Coke. I like their type.
Yeah.
They broke it up on the L here, which is really the only difference I see from the old one, but I mean, it's a little cleaner, elongated, but I just like it. It's classic. I mean, can't go wrong with it.
Timeless.
Yeah, exactly. Timeless.
Because Coca-Cola is like one of those few logos that haven't changed in like,
They don't need
I don't know how many years, but like it's been a while since they've actually done an actual rebrand of themselves. Like, why do you think that is? Like,
It's got a good balance between simple and elegant at the same time, without the use or need of gradients or anything. And it translates well to black and white. So.
It's not broken
Right.
And then also, you notice like any language it's in, you still recognize it. You can look at this in Arabic and you would know it's still Coke just off of its the way it's lined up and everything.
But to play the devil's advocate, if you look at Pepsi, they can stripe out the text, keep that logo, and they don't even have to translate it.
True, Coke doesn't have.
So is that a good thing? You
Well,
gotta consider that as
I
well.
actually counter argument to that. They have the bottle.
They have a bottle.
Right.
Bottles.
Silhouette of the bottle.
Yeah.
So a couple different factors to look in.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the script? I know you said you like the type, but
I mean, it's classic. I don't think they need to do anything different to it.
do you think it conveys anything about the actual product?
I mean, their whole thing is classic, like classic Coke, you know? And I think that's what they're getting out of it, so.
I think the reason why I say it is because I think what they're trying to do by the script is make it seem like smooth, like it's like a smooth drink. It's a soft drink. It's refreshing. You know, it's gonna quench your thirst or whatever. All that stuff.
Cool.
Hi.
Hello. What's going on?
Right now we're just standing at the logos that we like. So we have logos around the wall, and you can.
All right, we're getting to the YouTube people, and I noticed my web person standing over there.
So who's YouTube? Everybody else on that? Okay.
No USA Today?
Nobody?
I was USA Today.
And there was eBay out here too. Weird.
They don't like necessarily keep it blue for every single section of their newspaper or on their website. They actually change colors depending on what news story news covers are talking about.
So
Does
it's
that
something
make anybody think differently about the logo now knowing this?
Well, if you think of another company that does this on a daily basis, Google.
Yahoo does it.
Well, Yahoo's
Yahoo does it.
Yahoo's trying it. Google's been doing this for years.
Google does it, it's sick.
Yeah.
It's like, you'll see it and you're like, why does it look all weird? And then you click on it and it tells you some cool stuff that you didn't know before.
So maybe this is slightly.
It could have been done
up
differently,
version
but
of
it's not
it.
a good idea, kind of thing.
I like their application more than the logo itself, just because like there's a lot of logos now that are kind of like, oh, we're gonna reveal something new through a circle, like or a circular form, and like that's kind of like that DC's logo is, like how it has like the D that curves inward.
Comics.
Yeah, the comics, and like that's kind of like how I see their logo going as well, because that's also another trend that's going on, like revealing logos. They're like
We'll see
let's
that.
show little snippets.
Yeah, we'll see that one up here.
Yeah.
So
And
eBay.
eBay,
man.
man.
I just took eBay because I bought a camera off there yesterday. So I thought it'd be pretty good. But talking about the logo, they use the same colors they have been for a long time, so it's pretty noticeable. And I guess they're getting a little bit more professional, moving them all down in line rather than having them all like aerial.
Why do you think they like made the move to make it all on like the same line?
One of the arguments that was made against that was that they lost their playfulness to the minimalism that's going on right now. And I mean, there's arguments for and against it, but just
I
putting it
think
out
the
there.
colors alone let it be playful. I don't know if you need the letters.
Why did you guys not choose eBay?
Besides,
Because all the other ones were better? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they could have done anything else to this to
To make
step
it
it up a
better,
bit?
or yeah.
I think they wouldn't have touched it too much.
Yeah.
It might not look spectacular, but it was smart enough to mess with.
Maybe to keep the playfulness, they could have changed the played around with the font type, like the different font, whatever. But I like it professional like that. So.
I feel like it fits better now for things like you can use a logo that's like it has the same baseline and everything like that. Like I think it's easier to use different things. I don't know, like from a professional standpoint, if I had to do stuff with that logo, I'd be happier with something that like sat on a specific line and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I don't know.
I honestly hated that first look, and the second I heard that they were rebranding, I was like, yes. And I think what I think is interesting that here in the first logo, they all overlap. The E overlaps with the B overlaps with the A overlaps with the Y. But they didn't stop that. They still have that. The E slightly touches the B, and the B slightly touches the A, and the A slightly touches the Y. So they still kind of try
They're
to.
kind of touching but not
Yeah,
overlapping?
exactly. They're not
Moving
overlapping.
a little bit away from each other?
Yeah, so they rebranded, but they still try to keep a lot of the same elements. So that's what I think about it. All right.
Cool. So we'll be looking at a lot of what we talked about during the presentation. Taking a look at different trends.
All right, you guys can have a seat. Sit down. Yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts.